Welcome back, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos, and we have an update about Rey's Star Wars movie. We made a video not too long ago talking about the future of Star Wars, including Rey's upcoming movie, how it could end up being a standalone movie, or it could be kind of a test to see if it needed to be turned into a trilogy. We've heard both rumors. We've heard it's a standalone and then there will be a trilogy, and then we've heard it could be the beginning of a new trilogy. It's often referred to as the New Jedi Order, and we have a huge update today. There are a ton of new leaks and rumors that are swirling around about the movie, and it's not good if you're a Rey fan. And I read all the comments. I read every single comment on every single video, and a lot of you, you're not fond of Rey. A lot of you actually had some criticism toward my words about Rey because I said, as an actor, I think Daisy Ridley did a good job. I like Rey's character. She just got caught in the middle of really bad writing. So we're going to break down everything that just dropped, and we're also going to talk about a huge twist later on in the video that could change the future of all Star Wars movies. Drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, turn on those notifications, and let's start off with the leaks. Everything just got, well, turned on its head, kind of. Now, Daisy Ridley's Star Wars movie has allegedly been shelved again. According to Inside Scooper Daniel Rickman on his Patreon, Lucasfilm has decided to put the Rey-focused film on hold for now. They didn't cancel it, they just put it on hold. Maybe indefinitely, I don't know. But I want the important note to be the takeaway that it's not canceled. It's just paused at the moment. Now, like I said, this film that is often referred as the New Jedi Order was first announced in 2023 with Daisy Ridley set to reprise her role as Rey. It would pick up about 15 years after the rise of Skywalker, and originally, Lucasfilm had even targeted a 2025 release for this project. Well, we know that's not happening, but that timeline started slipping to 2026, then 2027, and now, honestly, who knows? Frankly, I can't say I'm surprised to hear it's delayed again. I'm going to give you my actual opinion on what I think's really happening later on. I mean, this movie's development has been a roller coaster from day one. We've seen writer changes, creative shakeups, and now this indefinite hold. So why? What gives? Why is Lucasfilm hitting the brakes on Rey's big comeback? Well, let's talk about everything we know. So why would they push a film back that could be one of the biggest films of any year? If you say it, any Star Wars film that drops is going to be huge. And this is, of course, about one of the trilogy's main heroes. According to the rumors, it's because Star Wars projects have jumped to the front of the line. So essentially, the studio wants to focus on a couple different movies before they actually get to Rey's story. One of those being Starfighter. Everybody's excited about this. I'm excited about this. Directed by Sean Levy. And of course, it's got Ryan Gosling as the lead. And this is going to be really, really good. I really, truly think it is. Its own standalone. It's 5 years, I guess, after instead of 15. But they've got some A-list cast coming in. Even Kathleen Kennedy herself confirmed that Sean Levy's film will come right after the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu film. And it will be set 5 to 6 years after the rise of Skywalker. Now, just even the name, Star Wars Starfighter. It's already slated to start shooting in late 2025 of this year and hit theaters by May 2027. In other words, the Rey movie just got leapfrogged. Now, the second film taking priority is the one being developed by James Mangold. You may know him as the director of Logan and Indiana Jones 5. Mangold's Star Wars project is going to explore the ancient past of the Jedi, something they're calling the Dawn of the Jedi era. Now, he pitched it as this big, biblical, epic set 25,000 years before the Skywalker saga, and apparently, he's making steady progress on that script. You have Andor's writer, Williman even joined him to co-write. Things are going good. There's even talk the film might be titled Jedi Prime, so that one is moving forward. And I want to stop on that note for a second. This one has me more excited than Starfighter. It has me more excited than Mandalorian and Grogu. It has me more excited than a new trilogy, because if they do this right, and they take us back 25,000 years. And if this thing is called Jedi Prime, which is just completely awesome, this is their chance to rip away from the Skywalker saga permanently and start telling a story that can just go on indefinitely on its own that has nothing to do with the Skywalker saga. This one, to me, is the most important Star Wars movie we will have within the next 10 years. And of course, we've got the Mandoverse movie, Mandalorian Grogu, the film continuation of the Mandalorian series. I'm excited about that, the buddy cop movie. And we did a video about it not too long ago, and actually, it's starting to sound like it's going to be pretty good. And it's so far along that filming reportedly wrapped up at the end of last year. It's already scheduled for May 22nd of next year. Here's a fun fact. Sigourney Weaver is in the cast. I know, that's crazy. Aliens to Star Wars. So with that movie in post-production already and 2 other films, Levies and Mangold's in active development, you probably see why Rey's solo movie has been shuffled to the back burner. Lucasfilm's plate is full, and the official line from Rickman's leak is basically Rey's movie isn't canceled, it's just on hold while these other movies get made first. So in other words, Lucasfilm is saying, hang on, we'll get back to Rey when the time is right. So let's talk about the other issue. It's not just the external competition. It's the troubled development of the Rey movie. If you've been following the news, you know that this project has had more writer shuffles than, this is going to be cheesy, but let's just say a deck of sabacc cards. I mean, seriously. Initially, the script was being worked out by Damon Lindelof, and then Justin Britt Gibson. They left the project after turning in a draft in early 2023. Rumor is they parted ways due to creative differences, or possibly the daunting task of following up the sequel trilogy story. Then, Stephen Knight, best known for Peaky Blinders, absolutely amazing writer, came on board. The film's release date at that point was pushed to December of 2026 to give Knight time to write. Well, Knight reportedly did write, wrote 4 drafts of the script, tried to nail down the story, but Lucasfilm higher-ups, Kathleen Kennedy most likely, were not happy. So Knight eventually exited the project too. He went off to work on a Peaky Blinders movie, among other things, which I think is exactly what he needs to do. So by late 2024, the movie had no finished script and no writer attached. That's not a great place to be when you're trying to make a blockbuster, especially with the Star Wars IP. And now we have a new writer, George Nolfi, co-wrote The Bourne Ultimatum, has been tasked with drafting the screenplay, but there's no official release date in sight, which is probably wise given the circumstances. Even Daisy Ridley herself has hinted at the slow progress. Just a few months ago, she said she knows the general story they're going for, is very excited to read the script when it's ready, meaning the script is still in the works, and she hasn't seen a final version at all. On top of that, I mean, the film's director, Shinoy, who announced alongside Disney at Celebration, has been a bit of a holding pattern too. With the project on pause, there's uncertainty around whether she's going to stay attached if things drag on. It's not good. It's definitely not good at the moment. So, fan reaction. A new Rey-centric movie was always going to be a bit controversial, a bit divisive in the fandom. I saw it on my last video. Case in point, as much as there are fans who love Rey, I did. There's also a lot of hardcore Star Wars fans who felt burned by the sequel trilogy. I did that as well. Like I said before, it wasn't Rey to me or the character or Daisy Ridley. She was caught in the middle of bad writing, meaning the community have been vocal that they aren't exactly clamoring for a Rey movie set after the rise of Skywalker. In fact, when this film was announced, a common response was, "Who asked for this?" I know it's harsh, but it's not necessarily untrue. Are we going to go for a 4th time through the same story that we've already been through in the Skywalker saga when we were supposed to put it to rest and move on to other things? I've saw comments essentially saying interest in a Rey-led story is low, and that's why Lucasfilm seems unsure to do it. And many fans are pointing out that Disney jumped the gun by announcing a movie about a character that a chunk of the fandom dislikes or at least feels divided about. So it's true that Rey's trilogy, it ended splitting the fan base. Decisions like sidelining or fundamentally changing legacy characters, Luke, Han, Leia, all of it, to elevate a new hero caused a lot of drama among the fandom. And the plot holes, we won't even get started on the Emperor. So it is definitely a lightning rod right now, and Star Wars can't afford another flop or fan backlash of the magnitude they saw with The Last Jedi, or the lukewarm reception of The Rise of Skywalker, or what they got with The Acolyte. Each time a Star Wars project has fallen flat, they've lost the fan base's trust. And rebuilding that trust is hard. It really is. But on the flip side, when they delivered something awesome, like the moment when Luke showed up at the end of the Mandalorian season, they won back some goodwill. It's this push and pull, right? It's tug of war. It's been a roller coaster of ups and downs for Star Wars fans. Example, Andor Season 1 earned a lot of praise from fans and critics. The Book of Boba Fett and parts of Obi-Wan Kenobi left a lot of fans disappointed. So given that track record, it actually makes sense that Lucasfilm might be super cautious with this Rey movie. I'm going to tell you guys what I actually think is happening pretty soon. Now, from a business perspective, you want Star Wars movies at the box office. You do. They're going to pull regardless, and they know that. So they definitely need to focus in on Starfighter, Mandalorian, and Grogu, and whatever this Jedi Prime movie is, I can't wait. But what's the future for Rey? Here's the big tease I talked about in the beginning. I mean, this is where we get into speculation territory. This is the fun part of the video. One intriguing one comes from another insider, Jeff Snyder, who actually pushed back on the on-hold narrative. Snyder claims the Rey movie isn't truly paused. It's just waiting on the script to be finished. Here's the kicker. He says multiple projects are being developed with Rey as the lead. Multiple projects. I mean, that got my attention. If true, it suggests Lucasfilm might be planning more than just a one-off film for Rey. Possibly an entire new trilogy or a series of films centered on her Jedi Order. This could be the reason they're taking so long. Maybe they want to map out the bigger story arc for Rey rather than rush out a single movie. It's almost like they are quietly assembling the pieces for Rey's next saga, but aren't ready to show their hand until everything's in place. If Daisy really is signed on for multiple appearances as Rey, that's a big deal, and honestly, it's a bold move considering the polarized reception that we got in the first time. Then also the buzz about Kathleen Kennedy stepping down as president of Lucasfilms by the end of this year, early 2026. If that happens, whoever takes over, well, we're going to get a different game plan. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's a lot going on, a lot of speculation as well. So I told you I'd give you my thoughts. Here's what I think is going to happen. It's going to go one of two ways. There's a fork in the road. Either the rumors are true and they are still using Rey and they're going to use her for multiple projects, and if that ends up being true, that means they are focusing on Rey being the head of the next trilogy. So basically, Rey would be the head of 6 in a row Star Wars movies. And if they do that, we are going to get the same type of story we've already seen through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We are. Rebuild the Jedi Order, fight the bad guy, whatever their name is, have your antagonist, have the Sith involved somehow. You guys know how it works. Now, for me, I don't think that's the way to go. I liked it when the rumor mill was they were doing a standalone Rey movie, and we're going to see what she's up to 15 years later, but they were also doing a brand new trilogy that had nothing to do with Rey. I like that even more. I think that is the way to go, and I think Lucasfilm is slowly seeing that, which is why they've actually paused this. I think in the future, you're going to see them possibly cancel this. So here's a best case scenario for me if they put Rey into a new trilogy. Make this James Mangold movie just be the best Star Wars experience we've ever had. Jedi Prime, start something brand new where we can start a trilogy or a saga 25,000 years into the past. That would be absolutely awesome. Let me know what you guys think. I read every comment, and I'll see you soon.